sleeping with your girlfriend. Getting nude and rude in your bed. Same dude that your sister likes. Mickey Avalon, call me Mr. Right. Who that man in a black sedan with two cheap hookers and a Mexican? On the white line, sipping warm Coors Light. Mickey Avalon, call me Mr. Right. Slap on the ab, a bag of green grass. Yo, G, on the scene, no future, no past. I don't know nothing about nothing, so don't ask nothing, cause I only be talking out my ass. Something so fishy and I don't know what, but I got the hunch it's just that.
What up? It's Jomboy and Jake Radio. What's today? It's February 6th. That was Mickey Avalon, Mr. Right, which if you don't know who Mickey Avalon is, go watch one music video and you'll get so skeeved out, just so grossed out. But I do
like he's Justin Bieber, but he was a little ahead of his time.
If Justin Bieber grew up as a male prostitute, Mickey Avalon was like a male prostitute and stuff. He's got songs about it. I actually think that his quality of music is my favorite of this grouping of like bad white rappers. I think his quality of song is the best, but he's watching him on stages. You got to take a bath after. Like a couple of
or you don't take a bath for a while after. There's no middle area, really.
You and I were playing these songs down in Tampa last year, I remember,
Sure.
I think we were like tired and like, let's play some silly music to get us going. And we played this song, and I remember Luke was in the back seat, my brother, and the line came on at the very beginning, goes, "Who's that dude sleeping with your girlfriend, getting nude and rude in your bed? Same dude that your sister likes." And you and I just started giggling. It's just so mean. Like, all right, sleeping with your girlfriend in your bed, and your sister likes him too.
I mean, you got, man. You're messing with the wrong hombre.
Triple dagger right there. All three. Fuck, my sister likes him too.
That's all right. Like, I get it. My girlfriend's more into you. Oh, you guys are hooking up. That sucks. Oh, my sister's into you? Why'd you have to say that even?
Yeah, so that's Mickey Avalon. Good shit. And we got one more song left for Bad White Rap Week. Although our main song might fall.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it kind of falls in.
You were
right?
pulling the plug a little early, arguably.
Yeah, best song ever is the best song ever, but it kind of falls into this category, I think.
It's close. It's real close.
I don't know what you'd call it. Best song ever is fantastic, though.
Yeah.
Midnight Chicks Like Heels Off.
Best song ever.
How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm well. We got some fun sports news that, even if you don't care to talk about too much, I'm going to be bouncing some things off myself, so I'm excited about that, because yesterday there was almost zero sports news.
Yeah, so I was listening. We did our show, and then I drove to the city, so I was listening to talk radio. I have some thoughts on that anyway, but Francesa opens his show, and he's the best. I like Francesa. I feel like people like to hate on Francesa or act like he's terrible. It's like, you just got to know what you're getting into. It's delightful. Anyway,
I feel like he's past his prime too, like just a little bit.
Oh, of course, but it's but the unintentional humor, he does intentional humor and unintentional humor, and you don't know which is which.
Right.
But anyway, he opened up his whole monologue with, "This is the hardest week in sports talk show of the year. There's 2 seasons. It starts on Labor Day, but that's not as hard because you got baseball going on, pennant races coming up. But that feels like, okay, summer's over, time to dig in." And he's right. So that's a good point. And then he said, every radio show in the country right now sits in after the week after Super Bowl and goes, "What are we talking about?" He said, "This is the hardest week in sports radio history." So yeah, I was listening to the radio, and I was like, "There's nothing." They talked about nothing interesting, like some really dumb storylines. But
yeah, I was laughing yesterday. I saw back-to-back tweets. One was the Phillies were making progress in the Real Muto trade, and one was like the Padres were making progress in the Real Muto trade. And I was like, totally forgot. I thought like something should have happened with how many JT Real Muto rumors I've heard. So I saw those and I was like, whoa, holy smokes. And then I was just thinking, like, so any media stuff I saw yesterday was Anthony Davis trade talk, or is Julian Edelman a Hall of Famer? Which
we covered. You wrote a whole song about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, knock yourself out, Jake. But then I laughed, and it just makes me a little sad about baseball, man. Like if you had two decent prospects and $60 million to give per year, you could have arguably the best catcher in the game right now. You could have one of the best third basemen in the game right now, and you could have one of the best outfielders in the game right now. And like that's enough to like lead a team.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like you can build a full team off of that. So, I don't know. So got a little sad about baseball yesterday, but also excited because it's coming. And NBA trade deadline's coming up. We got some of that. I'm trying to think. What was yesterday? Yesterday, I grilled a couple chickens, Jim. That's pretty nice.
Where were you last night?
I grilled the chickens.
No, I was thinking you meant you interrogated two chickens that were in your backyard.
Oh.
You like grilled them.
Grilled them.
Yeah. What the fuck are you doing in my yard?
10.
Get out of here.
4.
Like, dude, we're just trying to walk home. Quit grilling us.
10-4 on the chicken grilling. And yeah, recorded some Talking Huskies. That's out today.
We didn't talk a lot yesterday.
We didn't talk a lot yesterday. You had a big thing going on. I got something really nerdy. I don't know if I want to reveal it. What was the other? There's one thing. Oh, I got a terrible workout in. Oh my god. That's what we're talking about, Jim. So,
okay.
Couple things. So I'd say a word to describe me is portly.
Yeah.
Fair.
Portly and jovial.
And jovial, okay, I'll take that. For right now, we're going to emphasize the portly
unkempt
part of that.
Sometimes.
Right now, pretty unkempt. I've kind of got like a Good Charlotte haircut going. Is that second Good Charlotte reference this week? Anyways, so Jimmy, I mentioned I went on the ski trip this weekend and I ate like a pig. Super Bowl times vacation mode. I was just out of control. Plus, so like they're like adults, like half of them are married, like half of them want to do like nice stuff on vacation, like they want to like, oh, let's make a nice treat. So like the last night they made ice cream sandwiches, which is something I've told myself, like, Jake, you're not allowed to eat those.
Is this the same day as the hot dogs?
We'll get there. So yeah, so ice cream sandwiches is something that in my physique I basically told myself for the past decade or so, like, Jake, you can't really eat that, dude. Like if it's a random sporadic day and one of those comes up, do it. But like, if you have an ice cream Sammy a week, like you're done. That's it. Like you're coming in 5'7", 230, and that's not a good look. But so, dude, they sent me home with a lot of the leftover food because I was the Denver guy.
Hate that.
And so they sent me home with cookies, brownies, and ice cream.
Yeah, you gotta go to dumpster.
So that's what I'm doing today. But last night I was like, all right, like I'm already in this deep, and like that was really good. So I'm gonna do it again while I have the supplies. So last night I treated myself to a little ice cream Sammy, or ice cream cookie Sammy. And then, so yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then I got sad because I enjoyed that so much. And I know I can never really do that again for another like 5-10 years.
Nice. I mean, but in their defense, if they were searching for someone to take home treats, they're going to look at the hot dog king.
Yeah. I mean, there's that vacation mode where you can put up a fight like that. Oh no, like I can't take these brownies back, which sucks, by the way. Society needs to make a jump on that. How terrible are all those conversations? Like, oh, take the brownies and cookies back. And it's like, hey, how about if I asked you to take all the brownies and cookies back? What would you say right now? Because everyone in their heart of hearts, it's either a clear yes or a clear no. you've got the people in your house to divvy up the treats and survive, or you're turning it into a gross fest if you have 1 or 2 people.
I'm just pretty honest with them. I just throw down it, and I guess this is a bad look because people are like, wow, Jimmy's kind of a bad guy. But I was like, oh, if I take them home, I'm just going to toss them in the garbage because I can't eat them.
Right.
Like, and then at that point, they're like, I think he's serious. Okay, who else wants them? Who else wants them? And then I'm out. But it's honest. Like
the garbage play is strong.
If you give me all the cookies and brownies, like, no, I'll eat these in one sitting, so I'm just going to toss them in the garbage as soon as I'm outside your house. Then I usually don't have to take home all the cookies and brownies anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, and I mean they were all heading out of town, and they would have been throwing them out right there, and it wasn't worth it. And I secretly wanted to eat them, but
I have a question, Jake.
Sure.
You said you threw up a hot dog in one of your tweets. Was that a fun tweet, or did you? Because you're not a thrower upper. It's
a fib, Jim. I said it was untouched.
I know. I didn't know if that was the fib or the whole thing was the fib. I'm not mad at you for. If you did throw up, I thought that would be super interesting because you got stomach of steel.
No, hey, there's the bus. Let me jump in front of it, Jim. Thanks. How was your day yesterday?
My day was all right. Drove to the city.
Yeah.
Which wasn't that bad. Missed the parking garage because it was about the size of my car. I was like, no car can fit down there.
Sure.
Pretty good. I don't know. We'll get more into it on Talking Yanks because I don't want to have to do the whole entire thing twice. But it was cool. I was in the same room as Aaron Boone.
Can you tell people the name of the event?
Thurman Munson Award Dinner or Banquet. So I didn't get to go to the cocktail hour or the banquet. I just got to do the press conference and ask some questions. So I asked Boone some questions. I asked Andrew some questions. It's kind of a mess. Like every time we got up to the people we wanted to talk to, the guy who was running it pulled them away from us because he had something else he wanted to do.
Right.
So we didn't get to ask Didi any questions. But like on Talking Yanks, I'm probably going to go into a 20-sentence rant on how
good looking he is.
Just Didi was, I don't even know if good looking is the right word, just dapper.
He's just put together, man. He knows what he's doing. That's why I sent you the 40-year-old virgin gif of that. You know, this is premeditated, brother. You think this just happens?
Yeah, I didn't know that reference. I get it. Yeah, no, Didi was looking good. Andujar was like as nervous as I was.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's out of his element too. So at one point, me and Andujar were just standing next to each other in the corner. And I was like, what's up, man? Like no mics or anything.
Yeah.
Are you excited to go down to Tampa? And he could kind of do like that conversation without a translator. And he was like, yeah, I'm excited to be back with my boys. I was like, yeah, getting bored? He was like, yeah. So it was cool. It was definitely like a behind the scenes thing. As I was saying it to Katie, is I was expecting to be like 3 rungs up on the ladder, like at the event with Michael K and sitting there and being chummy.
Right.
It wasn't that, but it was still like one huge rung up the ladder for what we're trying to do. And I was in the room with all those guys, and I saw Cuddy and Coley Harvey, and like we had them on the show at winter meeting. So I was like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Should have asked them where to send their shirt to. Shit. But we'll see them all spring training in like a week or so.
Andujar's still 23. That gets overlooked. I mean, he turns 24 in less than a month, but still, for what he did at 23, that's insane.
So shout out to ESNY because they hooked it up, and Mike Vivallo and Vivalli. I was saying his name wrong before I heard him say it. He did this game. I'll say this on both shows. He did this game where he made like a Wheel of Fortune, the last round of Wheel of Fortune.
Sure.
And it was like Yankee events. And then he had me versus Boone. And we each said a letter. And then it was first to like figure out the puzzle.
Okay.
So I beat Boone. So I'm now bested. I've bested Aaron Boone.
You played like a board game with Aaron Boone? Is that what you're telling me right now?
Kinda, like one round of Wheel of Fortune.
Okay.
The videos will be out. I'm going to try and get the audio for Talking Yanks tomorrow's Talking Yanks show.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
Mm-hmm.
How tall is Miguel Andujar?
Tall, probably 6 foot.
He's listed at 6 foot, but he doesn't look an honest 6 to me.
Yeah. Here,
he looks like a 5'10" and a half.
I have a picture with him. I'll show it to you on the screen. Anyone that's live right now. But I didn't tweet it out because I just look like such a fucking slob loser. Because I know, but I just needed to tuck my shirt in, but it came untucked. But Can you see?
Yeah, dude. You got to post that. You just right from the untuck up. You post that picture.
Yeah, I think so. But
That's nice.
I
But
also
yeah,
was like,
dude. I mean, you're what? You're 5'5". Andujar looks like he's got a couple inches on you there.
no, I'm 5'7 3/4.
Okay,
Which are very important.
we'll call it 5'5".
And yeah, I mean, he was taller than I expected. But then I remember, like, yeah, I'm short.
Yeah, that was a
Um,
good pick. You look okay.
I cropped it. What do you think now? Who's in the live chat? There's 6 people here. What do you guys
That
think?
looks pretty good.
Is this okay to post, or will people just be like, Jimmy, you look like a fucking loser?
No, you look. You are overestimating how you normally look.
Cool. That's good
You
news for me.
normally look like. No, there's the cat's pajamas.
Here's me, Cuddy, and Boone.
You're the cat's asshole.
Yeah.
That's a good pick, kinda.
That was cool. That was a cool event. Hopefully we can do some stuff at spring training.
No, it's cool. You and me aren't excited for spring training yet, but like we're gonna be.
Oh no, I am now, and I'm
Damn it!
well, I told you, dude. This was my hurdle. I said once I jump over this Thurman Munson event, I'm on to spring, and yeah, I'm actually worried because when we have our sessions where I unload my brain on you, I feel like you don't really enjoy that, and I'm about to do that after we record this.
That's fine. No,
because we don't have any plans for spring training yet, and like that's bad. So we gotta make plans.
All right.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Let's talk some Deportes.
Here we go. The Knicks lost. And do we still have to keep saying this, Jake? Honest question. I think we can do updates about like other things, but I think the Knicks game results are being taken off the tri-state news. The Devils lost to the Kings. Jason Bay has been elected to the Canadian Hall of Fame. Mets hero Jason Bay has been elected to the Canadian Hall of Fame. Porzingis and his brother, or Porzingis's brother, got shouted out at his press conference. We missed this yesterday, but that was kind of bizarre. There's also news about Porzingis not saying no to the Pelicans deal because he wouldn't sign an extension. We can talk about that if you want. There is news about Judge, a TMZ motherfucker asked Judge the dumbest question, which now turned into headlines because, like we said, yesterday was the worst day for sports. Who?
I'm going to sweep the Judge thing under the rug real quick because it was just someone asked him if they would make room for Harper, and he said, yeah, right?
Someone, the way I heard it is they asked, when Harper comes, who's going to play right field, man? Who's going to move positions? And Judge, because he's too nice of guy, being like, that's not how that would work. He would just play left field. You fucking dumbass TMZ reporter. Instead,
well, no, didn't Judge say Judge said he'd be willing to move his position?
Yeah, Judge didn't want to make that guy feel like a dummy, so he was just like,
yeah,
yeah, I'd move.
I think I saw a little bit of that. I think you got probably inundated with it more yesterday with your Twitter feed and what's going on. I don't think that was like an actual story.
Well, it was headlines all over. I don't care about that. It's just that TMZ guy asked a dumb question.
Right. Okay.
Because if Harper comes, no one has to move. Left field is completely wide open. Someone called in Susan and John on the radio on the way home. Oh, that was the biggest treat ever. Driving home from the city, I put on WFAN. I think I'm going to get a schmoozer talking about New York sports. But instead, I hear John and Susan talking New York sports with Wade Boggs about 96 Yankees and shit. I was like, this is delightful. I parked in the car, my driveway. I didn't get out because I needed to hear the end of the Wade Boggs, Susan, and John thing. It was fantastic. Nice. But anyway, they had like 2 callers call in. We're like, well, what about Harper? Couldn't he play first? And John and Susan, she was like, why? And he was like, yo, we got to make room for Harper. And Susan was like, there's room.
Yeah.
No one needs to move any positions. It's weird. So, yeah, that was just – and Judge said the right thing. But it was headlines like that. Newspaper people wrote about it.
Yeah, because they had to.
Yeah, I understand.
Jim, you missed the big story.
Why didn't you fill it out for me?
Well, because you had the detail. Well, you had part of the details. Your boy Ilya Kovalchuk returned last night, and the Devils fans really let him have it, Jim.
They did. I saw someone like had a sign up the whole time. That was mean.
Yeah, there's some serious boo birds out for a hockey game. It's pretty quality stuff, Devils fans. If that's what you're into.
Booing people?
Yeah, being mean
Someone
to
booed
former
Mark
guys
Cuban.
that work for them. What?
The good transition into the Knicks stuff. At the Porzingis press conference in Dallas, someone asked a very fair question. Did you request the trade? And if so, why? And Mark Cuban cut off Porzingis and was like, hey, here in Dallas, you can just say, nah, I'm not talking about that. And someone booed right away from the crowd. Just boo. Well-timed boo is one of the best jokes going. But that was it's pretty stupid by Cuban. Like, let him answer, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Mark Cuban. He's the king of cool. You're away from James Dolan now. I'm the man. So yeah, I don't know. The Porzingises can knock themselves out.
Did you see the clip when the guy, the Dallas, who's the coach or general manager, or whatever, like thanked Giannis and said he was part of the team, and the other two players, fucking, I wish I knew their names, but the Knicks players that also got traded nudge each other. Like, this fucking, like, can you believe they're thanking Giannis right now?
Yeah, for moving us.
That was pretty good and pretty weird.
They're well, I mean, they're a part of it. Their lives got changed because of that. Yeah, and I mean, it is his agent, so I mean, normally you wouldn't be shocked if they mentioned the agent in the press conference, but like,
not to say he's part of the team now.
Yeah, it's odd. It's NBA. It's NBA, man. NBA is a whole different world.
It's a reality show. Did you see still on this press conference? Shit, what was it? Oh no, still on Knicks and Porzingis.
Yeah,
I keep seeing Knicks fans now pissed because they had a deal in place for Anthony Davis, but Zinger wouldn't sign an extension with New Orleans. I don't think you can be mad about that. No one wants.
No, I didn't see they had an official deal in place. I think trade talks stopped because Porzingis wouldn't sign the extension. That was it.
Yeah, they had a trade in place, but Zinger was like, "I'm
not a trade in place." That's dramatic.
They had talks of a trade, and then they stopped.
Yeah,
That's the same thing.
A trade in place is very different than that.
Nah, okay. I don't think
hey, we'll do this right now if Zinger signs. They were never there.
They were in trade talks, and then Zinger signed. That's all I said. I mean, we just hear those words differently, I guess.
Yeah, NBA is a different world. That's not how it works. But yeah, I think in the bigger thing, segueing into your Knicks is, we don't. I think we mentioned now if they win, but they don't do that. We've got the trade deadline coming up. It's going to be interesting to see if they move Vonleh, Wesley Matthews, Lance Thomas, any other of the kind of fringy young guys. Cantor, I mean, just cut him at this point. Hazonia. It'll be interesting to see if they can pull some like second round. That's the NBA trade. If you trade just like a extra guy, it's like get an extra second round pick somewhere. We'll see if that happens. Dennis Smith Jr. had a good game. He's quickly winning over New York, Jim. He's coming in and he's saying all the right things. Like he came out with a quote yesterday because the Knicks played Dallas right before they traded. And Dennis Smith Jr. came out and was like, yeah, man, I wish they did that trade beforehand so Dallas could see what they were getting rid of. So like New Yorkers love that kind of thing. Also, he played pretty solid. He had 25, 6, and 5. And that's the other thing. The New York Knicks haven't seen a real point guard in a long time. So I think Dennis Smith Jr. is going to win over some hearts pretty quickly.
That's cool. I don't know who Dennis Smith Jr. is, so I'm gonna have to look him up.
Yeah, you look him up a little bit. He was an NC State guy. So the Knicks passed on him to pick Frank. So that's kind of a fun storyline right now. Like everyone was comparing him and Frank. He was the guy. I don't know if you remember this, but LeBron said something. Or LeBron said, just like talking to a reporter, he's like, "Yeah, man, I don't know about the Knicks. I would have taken Dennis Smith Jr. instead of Frank." And everyone was like, "Come on, man, get out of here, dude." But yeah, he had a good game. Yeah.
Cool.
And he's got an old tweet about himself slanging that dick. So
he does.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that actually.
Yeah.
Saw that.
So.
Anything else we got here?
I
Jason
don't think
Day.
so. Jason Bay, congrats.
The way this tweet read was that the Knicks sent over a deal, and then the Pelicans said, "Will he sign an extension?" And then he said no, and they said no. That's trading. That's a trade in place.
Nope.
Well, I don't understand I think it is a semantics game, but like they sent over a trade, right? So there's a trade in place.
I'll trade you my dog
Yeah.
for your girlfriend.
Yeah. You send me that trade, so there's a trade in place. I say no, thank you.
That's not a trade in place. No.
If I were to sort of counteroffer and say, okay, but your dog has to, then I feel like there's trades being discussed.
That's trades being discussed. There's nothing in place.
Boy,
That's any bad trade that Goober sends you in fantasy baseball would then be a trade in place. Do you get that?
And I that makes sense to me. We just have different definitions of that. It's
no, because a trade in place means that both sides agree on it.
No, that would be a trade agreed upon. That would be like that would be a final trade. If both teams agree, then the trade is agreed. It's made.
No, that's the whole thing. A trade in place would be that both sides agree, but there's one hang up. It's the Porzingis won't sign an extension. Like the Pelicans never agreed to anything. They were just like, before we even do these trade talks, will Porzingis sign? They said no. That was it.
Yeah, but that's still they were talking about the trade. This is semantics anyway.
They were talking about a trade. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds. This is whatever. This is a bad conversation. Let's do the national news. It's just a tiny little semantical thing, but you're acting like you're king of the world.
No, trade in place is like a completed trade. It's like ready to go, except there's one hang up.
Yeah, the hang up was Porzingis wouldn't sign.
They never talked details or contracts or picks or anything. They said, do you want to trade? They said, will Porzingis resign? No. End of conversation.
Well, that's not the way this tweet reads it. It sounds like they had it in place and they were waiting on Porzingis' camp. They had all the details.
All right. You and your sources.
The internet. It's not my source.
Jim, we got news from all over the sports world. Alex Ovechkin breaks the Russian scoring record in the NHL. Nice, pretty assist. I saw the play. Lakers 42-point loss to the Pacers, worst of LeBron James's career. It's like the 7th 40-loss point in Lakers history. Bad times. Oh, maybe it's because the crowd was chanting, LeBron wants to trade you when Brandon Ingram was on the free throw line. NBA trade, Reggie Bullock to those Lakers for Mikhailuk from Kansas in a second-round pick. NBA trade, Tobias Harris to the 76ers. 76ers don't compete. Clippers get the Heat unprotected 2021 pick. That was the sexy piece going over. We got a couple betting stories that come out. Man wins $100K from betting $250. The Rams would only score 3 points. God, not bad. And I'd say the other big thing, MLB. They proposed a 3-batter minimum for pitchers, universal DH, and other rules.
Do you want to explain these trades or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, the first one, the Lakers are getting a guy that shoots okay. He can play a little defense for a guy on the end of their bench and a second-round pick. That was what I was kind of telling you about the NBA second-round pick trades. And then, the Tobias Harris thing's actually pretty big. Tobias Harris he's like 20 points, 8 rebounds, something like that. He's improved himself every year. Nobody really likes him because he's just a step below being like really, really good, I guess. Like he's good. But in the NBA, that gets a lot of teams in trouble because you have to pay good players like they're great to kind of keep them around sometimes. So a player like Tobias Harris can almost be dangerous. But he's really good. And I mean, the Sixers, like I said, the big thing was the Heat unprotected 2021 pick, because in the NBA you just never know because the players kind of run things. So the Heat could be set up to be absolutely terrible that year, and the Clippers could end up with a really good pick. They could end up with an average pick. They could end up with a bad pick. But Tobias Harris is also a free agent after this season, and I don't think the Clippers wanted to re-sign them. They want to make a big splash. So it's kind of like a let's get what we can situation. But if something solid's out there, we'll do it, and we'll do it. And the Sixers got a pretty strong five right now. Ben Simmons, JJ Redick, Jimmy Butler, your boy, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. So now the question for them is how cohesive can they get in the coming weeks, Jim, to compete in the East?
Wow.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And then the Lakers made a trade?
Yeah, I said that one first, the whole second round pick thing I gave you. But
went in reverse order. Come on.
Well, I was talking. I was using the words. You want to talk about being LeBron's teammate and getting some of that Indiana heat last night?
Pictures of him on the edge of the bench are really funny. And then the mashup of him telling them, like, game one, if you fall down, stay down, your teammate will help you up, and then no one helped up his teammate, and the guy was pissed about it. It's really good. It's really good for anti-LeBron camp. I was trying to find the other side. Said that's where he always sits, and those four guys just happen to be in the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, shit, that kind of makes sense then, a little bit. Actually, a lot of it.
Yeah.
And not helping teammate up, though, that's a bad look. I don't know. I don't like LeBron, but whatever. I mean, people say he doesn't have a killer instinct and he's not, like, ruthless to his teammates. Well, now he's being ruthless to his teammates. Like,
well, that's the thing. He always has been, and I think that's the funny thing. Like, Jordan was a known, like, kind of asshole bully, and he just lived up to it. LeBron does that stuff, but he tries to play it off with a cool smile. And, like, again, all those trade rumors leaked out, and they had him mic'd up before the game or whatever, and he's like, yeah, if you guys fall down, your teammates pick you up. And it's like, dude, we know you're trying to get rid of us. Like, let's not do this.
Well, that was game one. He said that back when he wasn't trying to get rid of them. Yeah. So I don't know, whatever. People can have their field day, and I think it's funny, all like the jokes and memes and all the videos. I think it's hilarious. But when I went and found out the other side of the story, I was like, well, okay, whatever. And then people want him to be an asshole. Like Kobe and Jordan were assholes and, like, ruthless to their teammates, and they get praised for it. LeBron he tries to be both sides of the coin. He doesn't, like, so he loses forever.
I mean, the part that's kind of crazy, LeBron's 34 now, and, like, this season's a loss. And if they don't get Anthony Davis, or if they do, like, Met in free agency, like, it's going to be 35-year-old LeBron James with a slightly better team. So then, I mean, then we're talking about 36-year-old LeBron hoping to get more talent. And I don't know. I mean, I know he's doing bigger and better things in LA and Hollywood and all of it, but I don't know, man. That's it's tough. Could end on, like, a not great note for LeBron.
No, no. This is how it's going to be looked at. This is his Jordan baseball year. He's just taking a full year off, basically, light and easy. No playoffs. He needs a year with no playoffs to fully reboot the system. So think about how energized he's going to be next year when he brings in the talent. He's going to bring in talent, man. Like, they're going to want to go play with LeBron in LA.
He is, but right now the NBA's never been at a degree that it's like, what amount of talent, though? You know,
like, it's all played out. You go in LA, bad team, no playoffs, reboot the system, because he's been going at it for a decade now. Playoffs every year, finals the last 6 years.
Yeah.
While KD's in his last run with the Warriors, because why even try? And then KD might leave. Warriors are knocked down a little bit. LeBron coming off a full season of rest compared to his previous years with better talent that comes in. It's a perfect plan.
Okay. I'm in.
Nice.
This is LeBron's bye year.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Do you want to talk about these MLB rule changes?
A little bit, because I think it's interesting. You and I haven't really covered this stuff, even though we've been doing baseball stuff for a while now. What are your I mean, DH, I feel like we don't have to talk about because it's like, you should have had the DH 40 years ago.
Yep. The one that I am really interested in, and I haven't made up my mind yet. And actually, after we record this and I edit, I'm gonna ask everyone that interacts with me on Twitter there to give me both sides of the argument.
Sure.
Is that a pitcher must face 3 batters minimum?
Yeah.
I'm not immediately against it, and I'm not immediately for it. I'm just very kind of I want to hear the benefits and the bad sides. Like, I want to get as many opinions as I can on that, and then figure out how I feel. Because right now, I'm like, it would speed up the game.
Right.
It wouldn't be that detrimental.
Right.
Unless you have 2017 Dylan Betances come in.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing for me. This doesn't necessarily stop the opener and stuff, which I feel like baseball kind of wants to do. But I think what sucks, and maybe I'm just have a little bit of Yankees bias right now, but like there was something special to like the end of the game, and like it at the end of the game, it's fun. Like if you got a reliever out there and he can't get the 2 guys, and then you yank them, and it's like, all right, you didn't have it today, or if you specifically have a guy in the bullpen. I know the Yankees haven't had a lefty specialist in a while, but like when the Yankees bring on Andrew Miller to face Big Papi, like that's a lot of fun. You know?
Damaso Marte in 2009 came in for lefties. That is fun. Yeah, so that's a good side of it. The other side, I think, is there would have to be a rule stating except the last outs. Like,
ooh.
You know what I mean? Like if there's 9, if you're at 8 innings and there's 1 out in the 9th, and your pitcher has thrown like Betances through the 8th inning, and then he comes out for the 9th and he throws the first batter, right? There's got to be a rule that says now you can put in a reliever for the last 2 outs.
Yeah, they need some rules around it, and I think that is funny that you and I, when we initially think about it, there's going to be loopholes and things you don't like, but it's tough to think of them right now without seeing it executed.
Yeah, that's why I want to start a Twitter thread and just get everyone's thoughts. One loophole would be, say this is back in the day, say Big Papi's coming up 3rd, right?
Right.
And you have a righty on the mound. You have David Robertson on the mound. So you would go, okay, David Robertson, get these first 2 righties out. Those are your 2 batters. Intentionally walk Ortiz, and then we'll bring in the next guy.
Yeah, which I've thought of that, and I don't necessarily have a problem with that because in theory, I mean, what are we really trying to do in baseball? We're trying to make it more exciting. So if you get some runners on base and stuff out of it, because pitchers would rather do that, I'm kind of okay with it. At the same time, I mean, completely walking David Ortiz intentionally is a lot worse for baseball than Andrew Miller coming in to face him for like an intense at bat. You know,
that's a good counterpoint. See, there's a lot of good. I'm gonna open it up. There's a lot of good discussion to have.
Open it up.
The other one is a 20-second pitch clock. Sure, I don't care. I don't think I think eventually that'll just be normal.
Does baseball? This sounds bad. Does baseball have the official keep 1 foot in the box rule yet, or no?
Yeah, 2 seasons now. But
I thought they did, but they don't like hardcore enforce it, right?
I'm fine with a pitch clock for 20 seconds. But what I'm not fine with is the MLB acting like pace of play is the problem that the sport faces.
Right.
When football is just as slow, the amount of action per minute, action per game is the percentage-wise is the same exact thing. Like that's just it is. Well, it's 1 minute more. There's like 7 minutes of action in baseball and 6 minutes or 7 minutes and 6 minutes, something like that. It's similar.
I mean the biggest factor is the action. It's when someone sees 2 teams line up and get ready to hit each other and run right or something, everyone kind of knows what's going on. A baseball game, if you watch a guy, fastball outside, 2 curveballs in the dirt, fastball high, like not a lot of people fully appreciate what's going on.
That's a different issue. It's not
yeah.
That's what I would say is the issue. It's not pace of play. It's promote the game and the strategy of the game more to the younger generation and get highlights out there. But so like they like to act like pace of play is the main issue. The baseball's pace of play is what makes baseball beautiful. Breathes conversation. You can talk to each other. Ooh, what pitch do you think he's going to throw here? Much like football, you can have that discussion. What play do you think he's going to run?
Right.
You know, you can do the strategy session. So they need to stop acting like pace of play is the main problem with baseball. So, but 20-second clock, whatever. The expansion of rosters to 26 men with a 12 pitcher maximum, don't care, no problem with that. Draft advantages for winning teams and penalties for losing teams. Don't they already have that? I guess they're going to heighten them. A study to lower the mound. Sure, do all the studies you want. And a rule that would allow 2 sport amateurs to sign major league. Yeah, so that would be cool because it would just be called the Kyler Murray rule.
No way is that related to anything going on right now, but we just want to throw this rule out there.
Oh, the other one is a single trade deadline before the All-Star break. I'm very much in favor of that.
Yeah, what are the pluses and minuses on that? I saw a couple tweets on it, but I didn't really look into it.
Well, dude, just the trade deadline right now is nonsense. Like, it's not a real deadline. More trades happen at the waiver wire than at the deadline. So I would
and I think moving it up would make more teams would that make more teams want to sign people before the season instead of being like, hey, we can find a solution in August. You know what I'm saying?
I think there'd be less trades. I'm more in favor of a single trade deadline than making it before the All-Star break. I'm fine with the July. But I'd just rather make it one single trade deadline. Because what would moving it up do? Because right now with the second wild card, more teams think they're in it. And by the All-Star break, there's probably like 80% of teams still think, hey, we can fight back and get a chance. So I think
but more teams are going to think they're in it. There's more season to be played.
So I think there's going to be less trades because there's going to be less.
Which I don't think that's good for baseball. Look, baseball's getting killed in the media cycle right now because Anthony Davis said he wants a trade. Like anything we've done with Talking Yanks, our trade episodes have been like the most popular. So I don't think that's a good thing.
Me neither. I like the single trade deadline, but I don't like having it that early.
Deal.
All right, we talked about it. Let's go to halftime. Ooh. 41 minutes, a lot of sports. And we thought it was a sports not heavy week or whatever the fuck we said.
Just had to wait. Just had to give it that vortex day.
Yeah. I feel pretty claustrophobic today. I brought in my third computer because I'm using that to export stuff. So I have 4 screens right now, which is a lot. Usually I only have 3, I guess. But anyway, and Zimmer's right behind me. I feel like I can't move at all. Just to let you know how I feel right now.
That is tough, man. My dog corners me sometimes behind the chair, and then I'm either the bad guy because I got to scoot the chair and I'm gonna whack him, and then he gets up all scared, or I'm trapped.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm trapping it because Zim's deep sleep. I can hear him.
I will say this. This is real behind the scenes. When he does do that, so his rule is if my chair makes contact with him, he's up and he's out, and it's like, what the hell? If I play operation with the chair, so if he gives me some good lanes to back up the chair, I can get out. He doesn't care about the movement, but any contact, pissed off.
That's funny. I witnessed history yesterday, Jake, and I know we don't like to get into politics, but I witnessed history yesterday.
Okay.
I was driving through the city, right? I'm driving on 41st Street or somewhere. Yeah, 41st, I think. 42nd Street. And all of a sudden, a swarm of photographers come out right in front of my car.
Okay.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Well, it's the city, so that happens. I'm like, what are they taking pictures of? Because they're taking pictures behind me. So I'm looking at my dashboard, stopped in the middle of the road, because they're taking pictures. And the stupid-ass, dumb photographer, I'm like looking at him like, what are you doing? You're in the middle of the road. And he's looking at me like, look. I'm like, how am I going to look behind me, dumbass? And then that happened. I was like, what was that? Eventually, I get to a point I could turn around. I could see that someone hung on an arrest Trump banner. And it was the biggest thing in the world. Then I'm hanging out in Grand Central Station waiting to meet up with Mike. And all of a sudden, this balloons start rising to the ceiling. And the balloons have a banner attached to them that say arrest Trump. And everyone's like, oh. And I was trying to spot who did it. They were pretty good. Because I saw it go from floor to ceiling.
Yeah.
I tried to find who did it, and I couldn't. So that was interesting. But yeah, I was making the news cycles. Everyone got their phones out. Oh man! So now they're going to arrest Trump, which is crazy because these banners came up. So that's nuts.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Well, no, it's not death penalty, Jake. He's just being arrested.
Oh. Well, he should get it. Politics.
I was just politics. It's just so stupid. People were like, "Oh, we've done it now." What are you proving? What are you doing?
Got him. They got him. Got.
Got him. All right.
I got a quick baseball thing before we do news. They're going to try to do stuff in the coming years to make more scoring in baseball. Are you going to be okay with that?
Well, I mean, it depends what they're trying to do. What do you mean?
I mean, the lowering the mound and stuff, and maybe moving it back even a little bit. I don't know. I just feel everyone throws everyone has two guys in their bullpen that throw 100 now. I feel like they're either going to lower the mound or move it back, and I don't know.
I don't think they're going to do anything.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see. It's hard to change the sport of baseball.
All right.
Let's do the news.
I read the news today, oh boy, and though the news was rather sad, well, I just had to laugh. Well, it's 6 o'clock. Time for the news.
A college student finds a man hiding in her closet and wearing her clothes. Jake, where were you the other night? A Colorado runner kills a mountain lion with his bare hands in self-defense. Take that, mountain lion, you pussy bitch. Cat urine smell has Wilmington residents frustrated. Smells like cat urine here, guys. Anyone else smell that? I smell it too. Did a seal eat your USB drive, Jake? Because in New Zealand, they found it in a frozen slab of seal poop. And a naked Navy sailor was busted in a Japanese family's home. Wow, tough.
I read the news today, oh boy.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, where do you want to go first? Seal poop?
You always assume that. No, I mean the one that's getting me, Jim, is the mountain lion.
Yeah, that's actually the link I clicked on. A trail jogger in Colorado successfully defended himself Monday against a mountain lion that attacked him from behind. Whoa, the cat is dead. Oh, shit. I thought maybe he just, did enough damage or made enough noise to get the mountain lion away. Dude killed the mountain lion?
Suffocated it.
The jogger, whose identity has not been released, was running alone in the foothills of Horsetooth Mountain Park in northern Colorado when, he said, he heard something behind him on the trail. As he turned to investigate, the juvenile mountain lion lunged. The jogger said he was bitten on the face and wrist, but he was able to fight back, killing the young mountain lion. The man's injuries were serious but not life-threatening, and he was able to get himself to a local hospital. The man killed the animal by suffocating it. Exactly how he did so wasn't clear. Wow.
Man, at first I was kind of happy about this. Let me see where this is on the map. Okay, so this is outside of Fort Collins. This is about 45 minutes north of Denver. So I mean, we're kind of in the range here. And so Jim, I'll give you a couple things. Well, I'm sad that it was a juvenile lion. I kind of want a fair fight here. If this was an 18-year-old, I think I'd be better with it. But now that it's an adult, and I know this is starting to get gruesome, and I kind of hate this part, but the guy definitely choked it, right? Because it's not like he took out a bag and suffocated the mountain lion.
I'm guessing he got it in an elbow arm bar and just squeezed for fucking dear life.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Because the thing was definitely going for its neck. He got bit on the neck a little bit. I don't love that it was a juvenile. I will say this: one of my first hikes out here, actually one of my me and the lady, one of her first hikes out here, and she's a Florida girl, Florida, Nashville to Dallas. She was excited to see all the Christmas trees on the hike. So that's what we were working with. So
Evergreens?
Yeah.
Nice.
Christmas trees was in air quotes, but that was verbatim. Anyways, so we're walking this hike, and it's really basic. It's not even uphill. It's just in an area. And we come back, and I see a little baby black bear, excuse me. And it's probably 30 yards away from us. And I'm like, okay, little baby black bear. And then, my 2.5 years of Boy Scouts prepared me enough that if there's a baby bear around, that means there's a mama bear around. So I like freeze up, I stop her. I was like, hey, there's a little baby black bear up there. And she goes, oh, it's cute. And I was like, yeah, it is cute. And I was like, hey, kind of remain calm. But because there's a baby bear here, that means there's a mama bear here. Mm-hmm. So she freezes up. And we're kind of like, we're freaking city slickers out here with a little baby bear. So we're like, okay, what do we do? So we're like, all right, it's a pretty busy trail. So we'll stand here, we'll wait for someone, blah, blah, blah. So 2 more people come up, and I'm like, hey, there's a little black bear up there. And they looked at me, and they gave me like the friendly head nod, like, I don't really care what you said. I'm going to keep moving. And then they saw it, and they were like, oh, okay, you were right. And I was like, yeah. So they were like, hey, we're locals. Yeah, sometimes there's bears around here. The baby bear was kind of moving away from us to the side. Uh-huh. So they were like, yeah, that's actually good news. That means that the mama bear is probably that way. And we're like, okay, yeah, I'll accept any excuse you say right now. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah, let's walk together, safety in numbers, blah, blah, blah. And so they said to me, they gave me the Colorado welcome to hiking speech. They were like, yeah, you don't want to be too worried about bears. Like if you see a bear.
Is that the Colorado accent?
Yeah, that's the Colorado, California accent. So if you see a bear, you kind of know what's going on. Keep a safe distance, blah, blah, blah. They're like, the one you don't want to see is a mountain lion because you won't see the mountain lion. It's going to sneak up on you and it's going to maul you. So that's my full circle that, like, I don't feel too bad for this guy because the mountain lion totally got the first swipe in. The mountain lion came in, got a good hit on him. And then, yeah, you literally have to survive. An animal's trying to eat you.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah. I wasn't even coming from a place of like defense. Like, this guy's awesome. Good job. You killed that mountain lion. He was.
Do you think you fight it or do you go full possum?
Me?
Yeah.
Fight. I mean, I don't know I'm doing any good, but yeah, fight. I mean, I'm not just going to go possum while a mountain lion attacks me. Unless I just do the cover my neck.
Right.
It would all depend. I think there's got to be a point where you're like, okay, time to just cover my neck and vitals.
Right. This will pass.
Yeah. But yeah, I had hoped that I would put up a decent fight. Every time I walk out my front porch at night with Zimmer, my leg is cocked, ready to just fucking boot a raccoon.
Nice.
I don't think I'd do it. I'd wind up and be scared. Oh, even thinking about that fucking raccoon gives me the shivers. I hate animals.
Yeah, hopefully Zim would protect you.
Zim's so old, he's going to die like any day.
Ooh, I know, and he's got a better chance than you. That was kind of the point of the joke. But watch out for moose, too. Moose are angry, and they're huge.
Yeah, watch out for moose.
How do you avoid a moose when you're on a hike, Jim?
Dig a hole and get in it.
That's one way.
Yeah.
People don't talk about that way too much.
Trench warfare it works perfectly on moose.
You're supposed to like dive in and out of the trees because they got those big antlers.
Oh, nice.
Aren't humans kind of silly?
That's how you gator too. You make it turn because they can run really fast straight, a crocodile, but they can't turn. I think I read that somewhere. Maybe Steve Irwin.
Are we gonna play Crocodile Rock right now, or are we just gonna sit here with our thumbs up our bum?
I don't know, but we should dedicate a show to Steve Irwin at one point because he's fantastic.
Okay.
A lot of clips out there that need to be brought to people's attentions.
Wow.
Wilmington.
Maybe Shark Week will be when Shark Week happens in the world, we'll have that be our Steve Irwin week.
All right. When cat urine smell becomes too strong, Nick Zacchetti simply sprays Febreze on his pillow and nearly smothers himself. I wasn't ready for that. I put a pillow over my face just to give myself something to breathe through, says Zacchetti, who has become familiar with the odor since moving to Wilmington neighborhood 11 years ago. Like many in this side of Carolina Heights and Ardmore neighborhoods. Ketty is familiar with the smell. He and his neighbor, Pamelia Waite, were among more than a dozen residents who alerted North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, DEQ for short, officials to a particularly strong smell during the weekend of November 25th. When you smell that, Waite said, you don't think, oh, I want to bottle that and do a Chanel around it. And do a Chanel ad around it. This whole town smells like cat piss and they're just fine with it? Kill the cats.
I think you like this a lot because you're thinking of just all the friendly conversations around town.
Yeah.
Smells like piss again, huh? Sure does. Cat piss.
I don't get it. Oh, there's a company called Fortron.
Fortron.
And they make some sort of oxidizer chemical that smells like cat piss, and that wafts through the entire town. So I thought it was a bunch of cats peeing everywhere. No, it's this business that just sucks. That sucks. Now I feel really bad for them. One time when I moved to Livermore, California in 2006 or 7, the poop plant backfired, and it just stunk up that entire neighborhood. My friend David lived in that neighborhood. They ended up having to pay out all the businesses that were around because no one would come eat there because it literally smelled like diarrhea.
Right.
It was terrible. So why don't you just not have your product smell like cat piss, Fortron?
Fortron.
Yeah. You want to do any of these other stories?
I don't know. I think we're running up against it.
Oh, yeah. We got to do bet of the day, too. Let's just do bet of the day.
Bet of the day.
Bet of the day. It's the bet of the day. Bet of the day. Bet of the day.
Jake's losing streak continues. He's 0-2 on the week, 0-2 for his last 2. That's how numbers work. He's now 11-9 on his total, which is the same as me.
Wow.
It's all tied up, bub. 11-9, 11-9. Jakey, making big mistakes. What are you doing today?
So wait, did you get a win yesterday?
Yep.
Did we ever get an official ruling?
Nope. Well,
Nope,
yeah,
to what part?
I'm the commissioner of bet of the day, and I ruled that I get the win. Now,
wow!
now, moving forward, the tone is it. This is the clause. Here's the thing, Jake.
Wow.
I loved the joke of it all. It was great, but it was the first time I made a decision before your decision, and I was right. So I wanted it to count.
I think Evan and Co. are going to be very disappointed with that news.
Well, they root for chaos.
So do you a little bit. You root for a good backfire. That was the backfire of JJR.
But now knowing it, it would be really bad backfire. I didn't know that there was consequences to that yesterday.
Jim, I'm going to mix things up for you.
Okay.
We're going to do our first JJR over-under.
Nice.
And we are going to the Philly, to the Temple UConn game, Jim.
Okay.
So Temple is hosting UConn. The over-under is 148. So, I mean, a little quick math for you. That would be the equivalent to both teams scoring 75 or so.
What was it? You broke up. It was one what?
148.
Okay. 148. This is, I gotta really look into this one.
Right.
Both teams scoring 75.
Yeah.
You can tell me what you're taking.
So I'm going to tell you this, but I mean, I think it's going to get me on your side. UConn has put up some big numbers, but every time they do, it's against bad teams, like the bad teams. Temple is kind of an equal. They're kind of in the South Florida range. And I just don't see this game getting there. I think one team's probably going to land at like the final score of this game is probably going to be like a 72-65 type ordeal. I don't see this being a really high scoring affair.
Have they played each other already?
They have not.
Interesting.
Which
Temple
screwed me with yesterday's bet of the day. I should talk to the people about that. Albert St. John's.
Yeah.
They just ran it.
Oh yeah, well I had it right. I mean,
they got Marquette's number.
Yeah, they were in a slide and they were like, "Let's prove that we're good. We already beat Marquette. We need to fucking beat them again."
Be interesting to see if those teams meet in the conference tournament. That's always a fun game. Hey, we own you, or are you kidding me? This is the game we lost to?
Yeah. It would be interesting. All right, so it's this is interesting. So I'm guessing you're taking the under?
I'm taking the under.
Which isn't fun, right?
I mean, they say life's too short. I just think it's real.
Temple has 85, 85, 68, 66, 75. Okay? And who's favored? We think Temple's going to win, right?
Temple's favored by 4.
Okay. So in losing efforts, UConn's throwing up some 80s, but yeah, they're against bad teams.
Jake is stupid, but he's smart.
Wow, you don't think the big freeze is coming for me?
No, I don't want my bets to just be he's hot, he's cold, and just do the opposite or opposite. I mean, I looked at the numbers, I read the books, I analyzed the stats. It looks like that's kind of high, especially because UConn's just going to lose and be down on themselves, but then does Temple run away with it?
Well, so that's the other thing here that's kind of interesting, Jimmy. The Yankees. UConn hasn't really won a true road game this year, so they're going to want this.
Yeah, but they won't. Every time you want UConn to do something, they don't. Besides the Syracuse game.
Well, they're going to want it. But yeah, I think Al Tariq is the coin flip for playing this game. I think it's going to be gritty, a lot of missed shots basketball.
All right. Well, I'm banking on it. I wanted to say something to you. I was listening to the sports radio talk on the way to the city yesterday.
Sure.
I am after 4 years living in California, and now I'm back here. I'm so happy to be back in on sports talk because I never listened to the sports radio over there or just had it every day. But I'm generally interested in how the Giants handle this draft and how the Knicks handle this draft, and that's things I haven't been interested in for a couple of years now since I was living in California, kind of out of it.
That's good.
So I'm excited about the sports.
That's good, man. Yeah, I think, maybe true story to wrap it up. You, me, when we went out to the Yankees game in Oakland, we were with a couple of our Northeast buddies, another Yankees fan, one A's fan, and a Sox fan. That's how you start a bad joke. But four of the 5 of us were from the Northeast, and we turned on the Oakland sports radio, and we just started laughing hysterically. It was just a different league of sports radio. And that sounds like Northeast douchey, but it was so true.
No, I mean, I lived there for a while, and it was pretty brutal. I called into that show on that record. It was the first time I ever called into a radio show.
Did good.
Yeah, I know. I showed the audio. All right. That's it. Here's Mickey Avalon, Mr. Wright, talking about how much he's fucking your girlfriend that your sister also likes him.
Who that dude sleeping with your girlfriend? Getting nude and rude in your bed. Same dude that your sister likes. Mickey Avalon, call me Mr. Wright.
All right. Whoever watched live, thanks, guys. We'll see you later.